how bad our industry is in terms of mental health, but some of the things that we are seeing. So when we do our training, and I was doing a session on Monday evening with the Young Farmers Group, we always talk about the stress bucket. So this is an imaginary bucket that we all have, into which the daily stresses and strains that we encounter go in. So today's stress could be trying to get to Cardiff or standing in the rain. But it can also be the big things, the things like that TB test, the NVZ rules, trying to get one's head around how do we make this work for our farm. And of course, responding to the Sustainable Farming Scheme consultation. But what we find is that life is already busy. We're already picking up these stresses and strains. Farming is challenging at the best of times. When we've got these big issues that are already filling our bucket up, when the things like a really dire, wet February that makes farming really hard, or the worry of a poor lambing because of Schmallenberg or other viruses, these are the things that take somebody to fill their bucket. And when their bucket fills, that's when they hit breaking point. That's when they have no more resilience left. And we're a very resilient bunch as farmers. That's the point when they hit crisis. And what we're seeing is more and more people are experiencing a very full bucket. I'm not going to reel off a load of stats, but just one for you. So we're here now at the end almost of February 2024. This month, the DPJ Foundation has seen a 72% increase in the number of referrals we've made to our counselling service. That's not the number of people who've called us or texted us, that's the number of people who've opted for counselling. We're 72% higher in February 2024 compared to February 2023. That to me is massive. That to me is concerning. But that to me also shows where we're feeling as an industry, that our buckets are really, really full. And maybe that's not surprising when we've got a crowd of people here, which is really heartening, who are farmers. We're farmers through and through. We identify as farmers. It's part of our DNA. It's part of our blood. It's in our roots. We've heard people talk about wanting to safeguard their farm for their next generation, or having farming in their history. It's something that's so much an integral part of us. But of course, we get so much self-worth from being a farmer. I'm proud to say that I'm from the farming community, that I've got farming blood. But when it's disparaged, or when it's dismissed, or when our voice isn't heard properly, that makes us angry. It's frightening. And it certainly fills our bucket up. So that's one message about why we want to be listened to, why we have a load of people here, and more undoubtedly watching from their lambing and calving sheds, wishing they could be here, because this is something that's so integral to our identity, our sense of self and our self-worth. And it can feel hopeless, but I actually don't feel hopeless. I feel hopeful. Looking at every single person who has made the effort, and for some it's been a massive, mammoth effort for you to get here today, a really early start or even setting off last night. You care enough to want to do something, and by being here today, you have done something. You have made a point. You have stood together, shoulder to shoulder. You've shown the strength of our very special community. Your actions, by being here today, are doing something. It might feel like you're not doing enough, but really, believe me, this is a massive thing. Alongside that, we've already seen actions that have had effect. And I know we've heard some dismissal of the ministerial statement yesterday, saying that there will be action. We've been waiting a long time for those actions to come. And actually finally hearing that things will happen shows that this pressure, the meetings behind the scenes, the work the unions have been doing, the work that the farmers' groups who've been talking quietly, is making a difference. In the same way that you being stood here is making a difference. And future events will make a difference. It's so important that we keep that pressure on, that we play our role, we stand up to be counted. And the public are with us, they're behind us. There was a survey done recently, and 86% of the respondents from Mr. Drakeford's constituency said they support farmers being in receipt of financial support to produce food, because that's our identity. As farmers, we're not landscape gardeners, we are food producers who do that in harmony with our environment on our farm. Now, looking around this crowd, a lot of people have travelled together, they've come with someone else. There's definitely anger out there, we can sense it. There's also fear, and there's also maybe a little bit of hope. But what is so important is that we cling on to that hope. If you're feeling angry, or if you're feeling scared, that you don't hold that on your own, because there's absolutely no need for you to do that. You have a crowd of friends here who want to make this industry a success and to safeguard our future. Speak to them. Reach out to your family, reach out to your friends. If you don't want to, reach out to people like us. But please don't feel that you are isolated in what you're doing. You can also play another role. So by being here, that's one thing. But also, every single one of you in this crowd should have already, or by next week, have completed your consultation response. I haven't done mine yet, but I will be doing it, and I will be ensuring that every single member of my family also respond to that consultation. We've talked about the wellies earlier and the symbolism of empty wellies. We've heard of the job losses that are predicted in our industry. That's on farm. This potential impact in our wider communities is so much bigger. However, there is something else you can do. And if you were doing a collection alongside some of the ag supplies like CCF and Winstay, if you've got spare farm boots, spare wellies, please drop them off ASAP, because it's not just standing up and shouting that makes a difference. Sometimes we can get our points across by speaking quietly and the symbolism that we can deliver. We've got to use every single tool that's in our toolbox to get our message across. And then the third thing that we can all be doing is speaking to the people within our communities. There are people who have not that much of an understanding of why farmers are taking to the streets, but we can tell them. We can use our social media, we can use the conversation in the post office to talk about why are we so upset, why are we so frightened, what do these proposals potentially mean for our industry. We can get those messages across that with no farmers, there is no food. We can make that clear. And finally, I just want to leave you with a thought, and this is so important that every single person here and at home appreciates this. You're not on your own, whatever it feels like. The whole industry is standing beside you. Diolch yn fawr.
Man bach, dwi'm yn gwybod be i ddweud. My God, unbelievable. But I want to be positive. I want to be positive because I want to see a future for my children on the land, farming and producing food. So I'm going to tell you a story. A story that started a month ago on my phone, on WhatsApp. I wish I hadn't opened it now. Two men standing over there, Gwen and Rhys. They're the boys that started Digon yw digon, enough is enough. And I want you to put your hands together for them boys. They planted a seed in a field that was south-facing in good soil. And that seed's here now. That seed has grown into an oak because everybody travelled, everybody came here for a reason. Because we love what we do. That's why people get fed. I will tell you, my father has never had a passport. He's never been abroad. And he said to me when they brought this, 10% trees, I haven't worked this land, and my forefathers have. for people to come here and plant trees, because we've worked our hands to the bone to get that land to produce food. A ma' hwnna'n bwysig. Ein tir ni dio. It's our land. And we produce the food. Let us be proud. Let us be strong. And let me tell you, I've got a few followers and everybody's behind us. The general public understand that they're going to need a farmer once, twice, or 3 times every day of their lives. And if we don't stick together, and it's been a tough bloody month for me, I will tell you, I nearly walked away. But we will be strong. We will stick together, drive forward. And I'm going to be honest with you now, it's time for change. Digon, you digon. Awn ni adra and I will go home from here with our hearts full of joy. We have done something special. Da ni di neud rhywbeth fydda ni gofio am yn oes for the rest of our lives. We were part of a farming food revolution. And we will bring this to the nation, to the people, and feed them sustainably, environmentally friendly, and affordably. Dwi'm yn mynd I fel y cachyd yn mwy. Diolch o galon. A diolch I chi am be da chi'n neud. Hefo'ch gilydd, da ni'n mynd I neud gwahaniaeth. Together, we will make a difference. Diolch yn fawr.
So, for those who don't know me, my name's Liam and I'm a beef and sheep farmer from Swansea. I would like to start off by saying thank you to all the speakers. But the biggest thanks goes to everyone who's turned up here today, because without your support, this wouldn't have happened, simple as. Another thanks need to go to every single person that arranged the buses and allowed venues to be used for people as a meeting point. So, without repeating what everyone said, I think it's about time the government started to listen and realise that we are not going to take the SFS just laying down. We need to stick together through this rough time in this industry, and if that's in tractor protests like this, and God only knows what's to happen next if they don't listen, but that's not our problem. The most important thing is to produce the food that everyone needs 3 times a day. Without that, there would be no people, simple as. So we need to protect our industry, keep our industry for the younger generation, and I'd just like to thank everyone for their support today, and I wish you all a safe journey home. And on that note, I would like to say to every single politician, words are just words, and actions speak louder than words.
Okay, we're drawing to the end. And can I reiterate what Kate Miles said? Please, each and every one of you, fill out that consultation. Your views within that document matters. Can I also thank the 5 that went to meet Leslie Griffiths and Mark Rakeford at the beginning of the week?
Where's Leslie Griffiths? Bring Leslie Griffiths out!
Okay. And on the actions that they promised, that they made in a press release yesterday, we will hold them to that. And if they don't act on those actions, we will raise the voices again and again and again. It's been an honour for me to chair these 3 meetings. I am absolutely proud of each and every one of you here. Give yourselves a clap. Give yourself, go on. You deserve it.
Can you bring out the
We've got a treat for you now to finish. Mae gyda ni rhywbeth I godi wylgylch tywyll Malan. We've got Aled Wyn Davies here. Aled sings the national anthem during the cheering test match at the Royal Welsh Show. So he's going to do that first this afternoon. Pob hwyl I chi, safe journey home, a diolch o iawn I chi gyd. Mae hen wlad fy nhaith yn oedden gwlad fy'r ddachan torion enwodion ofni a'i gwrdd a felwyr gwlad garwyr trabat dros y ryddid holl a sant a'i gwaed. Gwlad, gwlad, pleiddiol wyf i'n gwlad, tramor yn byr, i'r hwnau, o Okay, I did think I didn't have to come back to this podium again, but Richard, the organiser, wants to inform people about the transportation out from here, so he'll give you some information now. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, thank you for turning up. Obviously, it's been an amazing success. We're going to park the first bus up at 2:30 to leave at 2:40 rather than 3 o'clock, okay? Just because of the weather, it's just so wet and horrible out there. So, first bus will leave at 2:40. Remember your bus numbers, they'll be coming back numerically. And we've been told that any of you that have a tractor and you came in a tractor can